Desert Dogs set to take on Panther City Lacrosse Club for the second straight week. Very excited to have this one. Let's send it down to Vegas public address announcer G. White. Let's take a power selfie.
Two-time MVP and NBA Hall of Famer, Steve Nash. And joined by his wife, Janet Gretzky, NHL Hall of Famer, the Great One, Wayne Gretzky. Now fans, join the Las Vegas Desert Dogs ownership group on the field to present the key to the strip. Please welcome Clark County Commissioner Justin Jones.
Out here, this is so exciting to be out here. 7 years ago, no one would have thought that Las Vegas was a professional sports destination. But look what we've got here. We got the Golden Knights, who kicked it all off. We got the Las Vegas Raiders. Let's hear it. We've got the world champion Las Vegas Aces. We've got F1 coming next year, the Super Bowl coming after that. We've got everything coming here to Las Vegas. But right now, we're here for the newest professional sports franchise, the Las Vegas Desert Dogs. And you know, in other places, yeah, they can give you the key to a city. It's, you know, that's just something that other places have. But there's only one place in the world where you can get the key to the world famous Las Vegas Strip. So I'm very excited to give the key to the Strip to the Las Vegas Desert Dogs ownership.
Let's hear it one more time for Commissioner Jones and Clark County for welcoming the Desert Dogs to their new home.
Thank you so much, and welcome everyone, and what a great pleasure it is to be here. Thank you. Good luck to both teams tonight, and especially our team on the right here. But what a pleasure it is for me to be involved in a great city with Steve Nash, my wife Janet, who's taking Dustin Johnson's place tonight, and of course the man who made this all possible, Joe Tsai, who's a wonderful man. He's going to be great for this community. Thank you all so much for all your support, and good luck. Have fun.
Fans, let's hear it one more time for Joe Tsai, Steve Nash, Janet Gretzky, and Wayne Gretzky. The Pats all here.
What an intro. Joe Tsai, Steve Nash, Wayne Gretzky being handed a key to the Strip. Vegas Lacrosse has been established. Let's send it down to Devin Caney with Connor Kirst.
Connor, we were just chatting about the atmosphere in here. The fans are already pumped up. First home game ever for your team, the Las Vegas Desert Dogs. I mean, what is the team's emotion coming into this game?
Oh, we're super excited, especially after last week. It was a dogfight, but this crowd is electric, and it's going to feed us all night.
You guys played this same team in Panther City last week. It didn't go the way you wanted it to. How do you bounce back in a big way in front of your hometown crowd?
Next play mentality, bring the energy all game, and hopefully the ball bounces our way.
All right, thanks, Connor. Good luck.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you, Devin. Let's look at tonight's starting goalies, brought to you by Guaranteed Rate. Take Landon Kells, who gets the start in goal. He relieved Joel Watson last week in Panther City. 12 saves in 15 minutes. The former third-round pick of the Calgary Roughnecks. He's been behind some tremendous goalies in the NLL. Nick Damude is the goalie for Panther City. 17 saves, just 4 goals allowed last week against the Desert Dogs. Tonight's officials for this NLL game: Mark Ardonio is our crew chief, Josh Hiltz and Sean Grenier. Here we go, Mitch. We've got Lacrosse in Vegas. Cleland, Burton. Vegas in the black and white. Panther City road whites. Purple numbers, or purple letters, and purple underneath the numbers. The loose ball churned at and collected by Panther City momentarily. It's scraped out along the board by John Wagner, who was active in transition last week, scoring a pair of goals. Already a whistle.
There's going to be a penalty on the play here. We'll listen in. Just cut the tail end of it. We got a cross check here on Jacob Rouet. As that ball was loose, Rouet came in a little high. For the new fan to the NLL, cross-checking is allowed, but when it's above the shoulders, that's a no-no. He's going to be in the box for 2 minutes here.
This Panther City power play sizzling, 3 of 4 last week. They've got the young phenom Jonathan Donville up top, 3 in the white. Milligan has it, turns, shot dodges, misses over the crossbar. For those of you watching on ESPN News, we shift gears to ESPN2 for Las Vegas and Panther City, the debut of the Desert Dogs in the National Lacrosse League in their home building. Jack Hanna with the ball, 33, white and black. He was excellent last week, as we talked about. 3 reinforcements on the offense in Greer, King, and Bertrand. Loose ball, there's a scrum along the near board. These fans so far are just underway, just a minute in. They are so active.
Yeah, I think they're just waiting for the other shoe to drop. They're waiting for that first goal. They're waiting for that big hit. They got a penalty to start, so right away they're getting to see some special teams.
Still 80 seconds to go in the chance for Panther City. Top half of the league a year ago on the power play at 46%, 38 power play goals.
Yeah, arguably their power play was the spark, the catalyst that led them to have the back half success. They brought in some new pieces with Milliman. They brought in Dean Farrell, and they really sparked a huge explosion on the power play that really guided them to some huge wins down the stretch. They just missed out on the playoffs in the last 2 weeks of the season.
Will Malcolm creeping in. Milligan, the pass, and Farrell buries it.
And that is exactly the 1-2 punch that they were looking for in tonight's lineup by bringing Farrell and Milligan back together.
Farrell scored 6 on the power play a year ago. That's his first goal of the season. Had 2 dimes a week ago.
And you notice that top center position, you're looking for those skip lanes. You have the defense in a box, so they find that skip lane. You can see Kels takes a huge step to the top of his crease. That makes that quick skip all the way through the defense almost impossible for Kels to get from one side or from the top center of the crease all the way back to that near side pipe.
Tracy Koluski, the head coach of Panther City, hoping his team comes out aggressive but more dialed in than the first 30 minutes a week ago. He said that Farrell came into training camp super strong, wasn't his best. He was lighting things up in the Arena Lacrosse League, stabilizing the power play, and there he is delivering to give PCLC the 1-0 lead. Vegas with the ball after allowing the power play goal. Here's Marshall King, the product of Drexel. He'll shovel it off. Hellier up top, 10 in white. He doesn't have it now. The swing pass along the board. 30-second shot clock not moving at the moment. Loose ball. Panther City comes away with it. We'll keep an eye on the clock once they get it up and running.
Great smothering D there by Panther City. That was an area they worked on in the offseason, was being a little bit tougher in that middle area. You see them collapse completely on Marshall King. A nice feed, but ultimately there's 4 white jerseys colliding right in the middle, making it impossible for him to get a shot off.
And King is the younger brother of Jesse King, Calgary's captain. Elated to see Marshall back on the floor. Quick shot, quick stick. Farrell just missed it, could not grab possession of the lacrosse ball.
And that was an identical situation with that Milligan to Farrell skip, you saw Kells again all the way at the top of his arc there. Wide open net that just caught too much in Farrell's stick. He threw it in the corner.
Something about those two being picked up in season last year in February. They both rode that experience together, and it sort of fits that whole being counted out mentality as an expansion team. But now they're in year 2. And Malcolm hustles for it, and now 3 Desert Dogs are there.
Yeah, that mid-range shot for Malcolm, that was falling every time last game. He had 4 goals, and I think 3 of them were from that kind of mid-boards outside shot. So it's good for Kells to see that early, feel it, and although it squeaks through, he got enough of it to deflect it wide.
Eric Turner angling, 41 in the white jersey, won a title last year with Colorado. Now Bertrand is harassed, gives it up, shot clock is on, 12 seconds. Jacob Brouet, who was at Albany last year, step down shot knocked away by Demood. Loose ball battle, a board opens up, hello. Look out down there.
And these Vegas fans, they are getting into it. We saw our first good, clean look at the net for Vegas as Rouet gets a shot from top center. It trickles through, and here we see Jack Hanna just goes into the boards. Medeiros puts a little pressure, and that looks like a latch that just wasn't all the way down here.
There was no knocking before entering. Heads up down there. Reset of the shot clock. Hanna, the former Denver Pio. Loose underneath, loose ball to Panther City.
That's the second time Hanna's had the ball actually checked right out of his stick. So he's going to want to go aggressively to the cage. He did that really well in game 1. I think he's thinking a little bit too much and shopping, but that's definitely an area of focus for the Las Vegas defense is to get in the gloves and get the Panther City defense is to get Vegas running down the alleys.
Sean Williams loves that about him. Gets to the dirty areas. Williams, the head coach, named in April. And another rifle. This time it's Malcolm from the left side. 2-0 Panther City.
And that's that Malcolm sweet spot we were just talking about. He doesn't need a whole lot of space. His foot speed is so quick. He's able to create that separation. We see the ball come across the top a little behind the back pass, and notice Garrett McIntosh is not far off of him, but just that 2 or 3 steps as he doesn't close out to the stick head. That creates almost a double screen for Kells there. Kells can't see the shooter, he can't see where the shot is coming, and all of a sudden the ball's on top of him.
Malcolm has reached 100 career points in just his 3rd NLL season. Caught up with Devin pregame, and the thing he mentioned, look, it was my time. I had some opportunities last week, and so far that left side has opened up. A power play goal, 5-on-5 goal from Malcolm. Face-off victory for Cleland. Brandon Cleland, 8th year in the league, traded from San Diego to Vegas. That sent Fran Chiliano back to the Seals as their netminder. Rouet, the swing pass. Now they work it back, Reed Reinhold to Hellier. Looks to angle through on the swim move, 13 to shoot. Shot Demood prepared as he sticks out the right leg. Demood is dialed in. Tracy Koluski lit him up at halftime last week.
Yeah, he challenged him, and Demood answered. And when you get that confidence, when you have that confidence that you can say, hey, we need you to be better, and then he goes out and is better, that's exactly what you hope for in a goaltender. Sometimes managing egos, that can be a challenge for coaches. Now we got a break for Vegas here.
John Wagner dishing, shot over the crossbar. Vegas had transition bubbling. Loose ball to Hanna. He has got a knack for where the ball might be. 30-second shot clock reset. Now Tor Reinhold, Reed's brother, was attempting to shovel it back out. Panther City back the other way, leading 2-0. We're about 6 minutes into this one. The debut of the Desert Dogs at home. They went down 13-11 last week in Fort Worth, Texas. Panther City setting up. Farrell's shot tries to go near side. Great save by the youngster, Landon Kells. He read that before the ball was released.
One area we saw last week was a ton of pressure from Vegas on Panther City as soon as they crossed over that midline. There's an over-back rule just like basketball, so you can put pressure as they transition that up. Now, it seems like the script has been flipped a little bit as Panther City is putting pressure on Vegas as they bring the ball over.
Bertrand fired on the run, out balanced. Charlie was in Rochester a year ago, 1 season at Virginia after 4 years at Merrimack College in Massachusetts. Caputo chases down the ball by the board. Whistles blowing, no transition for Turner and the Desert Dogs. We can all take a deep breath. Lacrosse in Vegas is alive and well. Sean Williams will talk it over with his squad. 2-0 Panther City. What an atmosphere here at Michelob Ultra Arena. We've got heat in the building.
We are explorers of a new age, a new era. We are the pioneers of this new frontier. What a time to be alive.
5 breadsticks for my triple treat. 3 layers deep, 10 Cinnabon mini rolls to eat. And the pizza plus another pizza.
The triple treat box, only from Pizza Hut.
What will you do? What will you change? Will you make something better? Will you create something entirely new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with the tools and expertise you need to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us.
Friday night at Michelob Ultra Arena, home of the Las Vegas Desert Dogs, the 15th and newest franchise in the National Lacrosse League. They are led by Sean Williams. He played in the NLL for 17 years, first ballot Hall of Famer in 2021. Was with the Colorado Mammoth coaching staff and then sat things out because of this opportunity. Was there for 2 seasons, so missed out on a championship on that staff. Tracy Kelusky, he is the reigning NLL Coach of the Year, named after the great Les Bartley, Hall of Fame inductee in 2016.
Yeah, both of these guys, true Hall of Famers, first ballot Hall of Famers at that. I got the opportunity to play against both of them, never with them, and as offensive guys, they were a lot of fun to try to cover night in and night out, but 2 excellent men to lead these organizations.
Desert Dogs looking to get on the board. We're about 7 minutes in, first quarter in Vegas. 3 offensive players that weren't in last week, one being Zach Greer, the lefty veteran. Comes up short, Damoud plows it out. Greer in his 12th season, the assistant captain.
And this is the first reset for the Desert Dogs. They have not had a second chance opportunity. That's really where you can get a defense that's tired, that moves out of position, and you get those looks as Zach Greer takes another one to the rack.
Greer going hard around the screen. The ball's starting to move better now for the Desert Dogs. They took it to Panther City in the first quarter last week in Fort Worth. Bit of a 180 now tonight here in Vegas.
Yeah, Panther City's defense looks like a whole nother defense out there. They are on their toes, attacking the Las Vegas Desert Dogs, and it's creating real havoc in that offensive zone for the team in black.
Malcolm has scored tonight, passes Milligan, misses wide. Milligan did not play last week. Tracy Kelusky likes the idea of having Milligan up top to assert things offensively, and he did so on the power play for the first goal of the game.
Yeah, and we've now seen 3 of those attempted from top center to the bottom left shooter to Farrell. The first one went, the second 2 have just been off.
King on the reset now. Hellier up top, misses wide. Someone may have gotten a piece. A race to the board. Patrick Foley in deep. Panther City comes away with it. It's Evan Messenger making his team debut. Last played for San Diego a couple years ago. This is a relatively similar roster to last year's team. 6 new players, only 3 departures for PCLC. Tracy Kelusky likes that continuity.
Yeah, Jeremy Thompson was big for them last year. He was good at the face-off dot. They bring in Tyler Burton, who not only adds that face-off element, he just recorded his 1,300th face-off earlier in the game. He's only the 9th player to do that, but he also brings a tough grittiness to the defense. That was something that Coach Kelusky felt like they lacked, was making it really difficult to play against PCLC.
That won't get old. Tony Malcolm gives it off to his brother Will, 2-4. Shot clock hasn't started yet. Here's Farrell, kicks it back up top. Patrick Dodds, the reigning backup rookie of the year. Some guy named Teat in New York wasn't in the league. I think Dodds wins that award. Kells did not see it dribble behind him. Now a battle on the goal line, and the loose ball to Wagner and the Desert Dogs. When you consider, too, Panther City started the year 1-8 last year. They closed 6-3, had a 5-game win streak sandwiched in there. They were in consideration with a couple weeks to go to maybe make the playoffs. So there's hope. It's back to your whole point about being counted out as an expansion player.
Yeah, Coach Koluski had them believing, and we see Jack Hannock finally gets to the middle. That middle of the floor, just below that Las Vegas Desert Dogs symbol. That's where you need to get in the NLL to get quality shots on goal. And right now, Panther City's dominating that area of the floor.
How can Vegas settle into the game? It feels like the emotion of the building might be catching up. Tony Malcolm on the run, save Kells. Maybe that ignites them.
Yeah, I think the emotion is something they need to figure out a way to harness, and that comes from a big hit. That comes from a stop defensively, which they get from Landon Kells right there. But mostly it comes from goals. Fans love goals, so they need to go out and they need to break the seal and put one past Nick DeMood down there.
Under 5 to play in the first. 2-0 Panther City. Desert Dogs looking to deliver their first goal for their home fans. Foley races into the offensive zone. Panther City settles in.
And there we see the pressure that they put on last game, finally coming back and getting them the ball back.
Travis Cornwall, the former PCLC member, with words. 2-0 Panther City.
There are still too many bad burgers out there. So Arby's is running that Wagyu Steakhouse burger back. Arby's, we have the meat.
Now, ADT installs Nest devices from Google, like security cameras with night vision. They can distinguish between people, packages, and pets. If your neighbor's dog escapes, you can get him home safe.
Mr. Pickles, what are you doing here? Come here, Mr. P.
Say hello to Rocket Money, the all-in-one personal finance app. Packed with tools to help you manage and save money, like canceling unused subscriptions with just a tap. They also negotiate lower bills on your behalf. You can create custom budgets and see your net worth in one place. And you can even get your credit score for free. You're ready for a total money management solution? Then download the Rocket Money app today.
Teaching him to ride a bike? That's parenting 101. But Mom, get Greenlight and teach him what it takes to buy a bike. Nice shot. Crushing chores, getting paid, and buying a, ooh, cool bike. Then teach him how to buy stock in a bike company. Teach him how to be smart about money, and he'll go far.
Super far. Oh, hey, Mom.
Navigate the world of money together. Invest in your best investment. Greenlight.
Michelob Ultra Arena, home of the Desert Dogs, down 2-0 to Panther City. Devon's downstairs with the head coach, Sean Williams.
Coach, in the break, you were saying how it's a battle. Playing in a new arena is exciting, but sometimes difficult. Can you explain?
Yeah, it's just, it's a brand new lacrosse rink, so we've got some technical difficulties. We're working through it. It's just part of playing lacrosse.
How do you guys get things going offensively?
Yeah, you know what? It's just they're doing a great job of pressuring. We're just going to do a better job of transitioning up the floor and do what we're supposed to do.
All right, thanks, Coach. Guys?
Thanks, Devon. Sean was awesome to talk to this week via Zoom. We really got a chance to pick his brain and understand his philosophies, but he wanted character guys, selfless warriors, guys that are going to go the whole 12 rounds, and they're going to need that tonight, being down 2-0 early.
Yeah, he talked about that 12-round fighter mentality. With 18 games, it's a long season. As we see, Zach Greer finally gets to the inside, and DeMood kicks it away. But they're going to keep fighting. It's a long game. It's a long 18-game season. So he wants character guys that even if things go wrong in the first game or two, they're going to come back, and they're going to find ways to eke out victories. They're going to find ways to grind it out.
Panther City opens the door, an over and back penalty, or pardon me, a violation that leads to possession for the Desert Dogs. Hellier, former champion in Toronto. Greer won championships in Edmonton and Saskatchewan. Here's King, the rookie, blazes one off the shoulder pad of Damoud.
And that was Jack Hanna coming over the top. And his speed and his fluidity, he's just so smooth with how he moves for a big player. That's one area that we talked to Sean Williams before the game today, and he was just blown away by his athleticism and how quick his brain is adapting to this box game.
And even for a youngster, he's got championship pedigree with the PLL Water Dogs over the summer. In 10 games, scored 11 goals. Loose ball is tracked down by Jackson Subak. Up the floor for Turner. He is a great initiator in the middle of the floor. 41, Wagner comes off. Hellier now enters. What do you see, Mitch?
Speaking in the middle of the floor, look at how all the white jerseys are above that white restraining line. They are putting so much pressure on the Desert Dogs, making it difficult for them to even get in the zone. So they get in with 8-12 seconds tops on that shot clock, and then they're just soaking those shots before they can even see the goal.
Steve Toll, the defensive coordinator, making some stylistic changes from a year ago. That was his focus in training camp, to be a little less predictable in the D zone. Toll comes back. Kyle Goundry is the new offensive coordinator for Panther City. Up 2-0, under 3 to go in the first. Great to have you with us on ESPN2. There's a push. The fans want a whistle. Malcolm on the ricochet. No reset on the clock. Milligan fires. It's drilled out by a defender.
And it's just amazing how easy it is right now for Panther City to swing the ball side to side versus what we're seeing. And there's big Tyson Rowe, 6'10", rumbling, bumbling right down the middle. Ultimately, too many Panther City players surround him and they get the ball back.
He can run for 6'10". Big body mammoth on this lacrosse floor. Malcolm Donville, in his first season, the former #1 pick out of Maryland, 1 year there, 4 years at Cornell, a decent school.
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Only the best side.
As a Cornell grad is next to me, folks.
And you can see this is where the athleticism of the Las Vegas Desert Dogs, with Connor Kurtz there, just sticks his stick up and knocks a pass down. They get beat on the inside on a two-man game, but they're able to get a trail check. That's the little plays they have to make, even when they make mistakes. If they can make those secondary plays to get the ball back, that's how they're going to stay in this game. And then it's cracking the door so they can get some goals in the back of the net.
Greer, or pardon me, Bertrand attempts a skip pass diagonally to the doorstep. It's picked off. And once again, Panther City in the O-zone. Hold on a moment, though. Cleland, he drills his body into the board. Loose ball still with Wengreniak, and then Travis Cornwall tracks it down.
And Wengreniak, he's a rookie. He was on the receiving end of that double team. All of a sudden, what's going on here? I'm surrounded.
Wengreniak, 26 years old. Pass to Hellier, the team captain. He's been an organic fit in this organization. Damoud goes low, hasn't had to be dominant. Most of the shots, he's had a clear view, and that's to your point about the defenders being up top, preventing anything in deep where he has to make a quick reaction.
Yeah, and a big piece of that is if you're not going to get in front of the cage, then you have to swing the ball from side to side to get that goalie to move. Damoud plays a low arc. That means he's close to the inside of his goal, so his shoulders take up both posts. You have to suck him out of that net, and then you got to get him moving side to side to open up the 5-hole and the top corners.
They set the screen for Bertrand, who comes up empty. Season debut for Bertrand, Greer, and King. Down to the deck, Tor Reinhold. After getting hit from behind by Liam Burns, who scored one of 3 transition goals for Panther City last week.
And Panther City smartly calls a timeout here with 9 seconds left. We're going to draw something up, try to get one before the end of the quarter.
We'll see if they pull the goalie to go 6-on-5 with the shot clock off.
There we saw them working on their 6-on-5 today. One thing, Tracy Koluski, he is exacting in his preparation. We watched their shoot-around today, and he goes over plays, and it's not just you need to go here, it's he will show step by step where each player has to be. And I think players really respect that. I was talking to Jonathan Donville last week, and he says he is very clear with his direction. And he said, I don't mind being told what to do if there's always the right answer, and if I have questions, I know exactly what to do next. And that's exactly what he feels like about the coaching he receives from Tracy Koluski. So I expect a well drawn up play here, executed to perfection, and hopefully that'll end up in a goal for Coach Kelusky and his squad.
And the willingness to be coached with expansion teams, especially Kelusky, Williams, they have to set tone. They have to help install culture. That buy-in so important. No goalie, Damoud out of the cage. So it's 6-on-5, seconds winding down, 3-2 off the board. Farrell nearly delivered. Kells comes up with it. This is a lot different than what it was last week. A 7-7 game at halftime, only 2 goals in the first 15 minutes.
We got a low-scoring affair that's focused on defense. The Stars are out in Las Vegas tonight, 2-0.
At Domino's, we appreciate those who get off the couch to pick up the pizza.
Be right back.
In our eyes, you're a carry-out hero.
It's a pull, sweetie.
And to recognize your efforts, we're tipping you $3 for picking up your online carry-out order at Domino's.
Ah, humbug. My signal is totally ghosting me.
You need a better network. 'Tis the season to switch to Verizon. They'll give you the new iPhone 14 Pro.
Amazing phone.
This holiday season, Verizon gives you the new iPhone 14 Pro, plus an Apple gift like Apple Watch SE, iPad, and Beats Fit Pro. All on us and in stock now. That's a value of up to $1,900.
Wow.
And there are unlimited plans for everyone, starting at just $35 a line. Act now. It's our best deal of the year, but it ends soon. Visit Verizon today.
Unc, that's my piece of the shakaroni. That's the biggest one we make.
They'll donate $1 from every shakaroni to the Papa John's Foundation.
Dang, that's huge. If the hoop was as big as that pizza, maybe you'd have made some of your free throws. Somebody save me a slice. Where'd he come from?
The first time you connected your website and your store was also the first time you realized...
Well, we can do anything. Cheesecake cookies?
The Chookie!
Manage all your sales from one place with a partner that always puts you first. GoDaddy, tools and support for every small business first.
NetSpend notification?
Yep, just got paid. Direct deposit to my NetSpend card.
Limited time offer of no monthly fees when you open a NetSpend All Access account and load $1,000 or more each calendar month. Hurry, offer ends 12/31/2022. Get started today at netspend.com.
Get game day ready and shop your favorite teams, jerseys, and merchandise. Head to NLLshop.com to get all your National Lacrosse League and team gear today. The 2 newest franchises in the National Lacrosse League. Sharp uniforms. Look at this Vegas uniform, the logo, the Desert Dogs, scrappy and cunning, friendly but fierce, powerful alone but unstoppable as a pack.
Selfless warriors. That is what Sean Williams wants to see. Selfless. To be in a pack, you got to be selfless. Can't think about yourself. You're thinking about your dogs.
Is it fair to say they're showing Devontae Adams, Raiders receiver, on the Jumbotron? That's pretty cool. He's with Joe Tsai, one of the owners of the Desert Dogs. Is it fair to say, at least for the Desert Dogs, Las Vegas, they picked up the intensity on the defensive end? So it feels like their defense hopefully turns into some offense to get them going.
Yeah, I think they're matching that pressure and that intensity down low. They're making up for little mistakes, supporting each other like a pack mentality. But they need to turn that into offensive production. And right now they're just still on their heels in the offensive end, and that's a large credit to Panther City's defense, which is swarming. But here we see that pressure at the midline. They are just so good at jumping all over as they win the ball back.
The 12th year face-off man, Tyler Burton, plays both ends. We mentioned it. He was 1 win away from 1,300. He got there. He has his second face-off victory tonight. So he and Cleland are both 2 for 4. Charlie Bertrand nearly stepped into one. Bertrand a year ago with Rochester, 13 goals, 28 assists, 66 loose balls. Hellier comes screaming around the pick but could not finish. Patrick Foley thought about shooting before collecting. Dishes off and Panther City will hold up.
Patrick Foley, the pride of Massachusetts. Not too many Massachusetts
the last name
guys.
Foley doesn't sound Massachusetts at all.
He's a fellow Bostonian, Brendan. I know you approve.
Played at Johns Hopkins. Was a former third-team All-American. Malcolm, who has one of the goals tonight. Farrell has the other. Malcolm sneaking around the body. Loose again. Travis Cornwall, one of the veterans in Vegas. 90 in the white and black uniform.
He knows this Panther City team quite well.
He does.
He was a member of their squad last year, and that one rings off the post. We've got a delayed penalty here as Nick DeMoon is making the long run to his bench all the way across midfield line. We'll wait for the call.
Folks new to box lacrosse, similar to what they do when there's a defensive infraction, free play in the NFL. They say, all right, let's run something. We'll take the goalie off, put an extra shooter on the floor.
We got Garrett McIntosh there from checking from behind. Yeah, as you're mentioning, the arm goes up. Pull that goalie off, you run a 6-on-5 set play. Here's a little replay. Oh yeah, he gets him right between the numbers. Anytime you extend your arms out, that's gonna be a check from behind. You're allowed to pretty much get away with anything you want between the shoulders and in the front, but as soon as they turn your back, you have to hold up, slow up. And if you extend your arms, that could be a cross check as well.
As a defender, you never did anything like that, right?
Clean as a whistle.
That's right. Milligan to Will Malcolm behind the goal. Subak boxing out the Panther City player. Now Farrell pushes him off. Desert Dogs looking for a spark, have not scored yet. We're 2 minutes into the second quarter. Last week when they met in Fort Worth at Dickies Arena, it was a 7-7 game at halftime, and the Desert Dogs were resilient. They were down 6-3, could have easily been 7-3, and they mustered off a run.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say it was 7 seconds. It was about 7 seconds in. Number 77, John Wagner, took it right to the rack. So they got taste of first blood early last week. They have yet to open the door, and sometimes that's all it takes is understanding what is going to go and what's not. And right now they haven't found that secret formula to get DeMude off his line or get him moving side to side.
And it's weird, we're in Vegas. The Lucky Sevens aren't connecting quite yet. Milligan, slow delivery. Kells lost the ball, and it's plowed up against the board, popped loose.
Caputo slow to get up. His helmet is on the floor. He took a couple hard licks in the first game between these two.
So he jogs off. His helmet remains on the turf.
Subak fires that helmet over as they settle back into their four-man box.
Yeah, it's not a medicine ball. It's the bucket. They put it back on the sideline. Milligan, dish. Kells reads it well. And that's terrific heads up by James Barclay, who slides over to help out his goaltender.
And Kells with an acrobatic save. He plays so much different. Joel Watson started the game. He's big. He takes up a lot of net. Stays back on his line. Kells very acrobatic. Uses his athleticism, as you see there. He throws his stick all the way across on that cross crease save.
He's going to be a fantastic player. Folks familiar with the Junior A circuit in Peterborough. Kells played with Evan Kirk, Mike Poulin, Matt Vince. Those are the big-name goalies the league has to offer. He also played behind Christian Del Bianco in Calgary the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, Del Bianco, one of the best in the league. Great opportunity to learn from him.
And at one point in his time, Del Bianco was a 21-year-old starter. That's Kells now in Vegas. Crowd applauds. Cornwall.
Nice heads-up play there by Cornwall. He was going to scoop up that loose ball, realized pressure was coming, just kind of flicked it ahead, knowing he had that support. You can see the communication starting to come into play. That's something that takes time with a new team. You're learning your teammates, their tendencies. A lot of times it's actually the talk on the floor that makes the difference between plays succeeding and not succeeding. And here's Charlie Bertrand finally working his way, and he draws a penalty there as we get a delayed call.
Chad Cummings barreled in. Reinhold hits the post.
Kells jumps up. He's on his way out because there's that delayed penalty. He steps up, keeps the ball in play. You get a reset with that. Anytime the ball touches a post.
Sixth shooter on the floor is Zach Greer, 88 white and black jersey. Bertrand sweeps one, misses wide off the board. 9 to shoot, no reset awarded, and now we'll find out what the penalty is. Sellers collides with a member of the Desert Dogs. So Vegas, for the first time, heads to the power play. And they're still very much in this game. Down 2-0. 5 minutes into the second quarter. Mark Ardonio will tell us the penalty. And we'll get that settled when we come back. Downtown Vegas, Lacrosse is here. 2-0 Panther City, the road squad, in front.
Ugh, this rental car is so boring to drive.
Let's be honest. The rent-a-car industry is the definition of boring, and the reason can be found in the name itself. Rent a car? You don't want a friend. You want the friend. You don't want a job. You want the job. The is always over a. That's why we don't offer a car. We offer the car. Sixth, rent the car.
It's not just that they're the best. It's that they're all here together to bring out your best.
As the Bespoke Postman, I only deliver one high-quality package from Bespoke Post, and it's all been tested by me. Discover the best small brands in the world at BespokePost.com.
Do you have an invention idea? Go to InventHelp.com to get started today. We have services to showcase your invention. This holiday season, why not do something for yourself? Go to InventHelp.com or call 844-7INVENT for free information.
When Wingstop made a chicken sandwich, you know they wouldn't make just one. Now you can have 12 new sauce and toss favorites, like lemon pepper, mango habanero, and OG hot. So try the new chicken sandwich for only $5.49 at Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings.
Nick Damoud has done his job tonight. He has 11 saves. Let's go down to Devin Caney with Tracy Koleski.
Coach, you guys are playing extremely well defensively, leaps and bounds from last week against this same team. What adjustments did you focus on?
One thing we just focused on was just communicating, making sure we're playing from the inside out and making sure that, again, we're playing tight.
Damoud is dialed in net. I know you had some words with him at halftime last week. Will you have any words with him this week?
You know what? He's staying his ground right now. He's making the stops that he needs to, and that's all we need right now.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Guys.
When does TK have nothing to say to his players? Maybe to Chad Cummings with this penalty.
Yeah, this is going to be a hold call here on Chad Cummings, so he'll spend 2 minutes in the sin bin in Sin City, as we'll see what the Las Vegas Desert Dogs can put together on their first power play of the evening.
How long have you been sitting on sin bin?
I thought of it this afternoon.
That's very good. That's excellent. We'll have to work on getting that sponsor. We'll talk to Nash and Gretzky, figure that out. Hellier missiles one wide right over the crossbar as well. Maybe a shorty here for Panther City, but great defense on the other end by the captain, Hellier.
Rob Hellier, what an effort to back check. He catches Hasek with just enough stick. And there's one for good measure from Hellier as Hasek jogs off.
Graham Hasek had 2 goals, or pardon, Matt Hasek, not Graham. Graham's elsewhere in the NLL. Matt had 1 shot last week, could not capitalize on it. Scored 2 a year ago. Kells has elevated his play since the mid part of the first quarter. The 2 goals scored were in the early part of this game in the first 4 minutes of action. Panther City still has a minute left in the power play. Or pardon, Vegas still has a minute left in the power play. Up top, Hellier, the captain, shoveling. Greer to the doorstep. Rouet wasn't ready for it.
And you can just see the timing is just off. And with the new pieces in the lineup, Greer hasn't had a power play yet this year. Marshall King hasn't been in there in the offense. They're just not able right now to be crisp on their passes so they can get into their offense and get the ball swinging from east to west.
How do you simplify things if that's the case?
I think there's 2 options, right? You have an outlet nice and high, or you have an outlet behind the goal that you really have plenty of space to transition that ball. But it really does ultimately come down to moving your feet quickly and then passing the ball through pressure.
Panther City just bleeding clock. 10 seconds left in the chance. Their captain, Chad Cummings, in the sin bin. Should be out shortly. And now Vegas slows down. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Cummings re-enters. Bertrand was cutting backdoor, could not collect the pass. Hasek has it over the timeline. Panther City only up 2-0. Mitch, they've outplayed Vegas in their home building. Home opener, Lacrosse in Vegas for the first time. And the Desert Dogs are still very much alive. As we're midway through this second quarter. Here's the first overall pick, Donville. He's denied.
And he looks for Hellier breaking out just over the head of Hellier. as Tyson Rowe throws that big 6'10" frame around down low.
How hard is it to stay disciplined? You've been in spots like this, defensive rock fight. You want to just get a cheap goal, not hit singles, right? Hit the home run play. How do you stay disciplined? And there's chaos by the goal. Still loose. Turner's in there protecting Kells from PCLC invading.
When Greniak went for the dive underneath, they collapsed on him, protecting their goalie there. But you were asking, how do you stay disciplined? It's tough. It's tough. You want to try to spark that transition. You want to try to provide that oomph that you need on offense. But ultimately, you got to let your offensive players do it. And then the transition attempts will come as we got the first goal from Jacob Rouet.
He delivers the first goal in Vegas Desert Dogs home history.
I mentioned at the break they hadn't run a two-man game successfully. Here we see a nice little pick and roll from Rouet. In fact, he doesn't even set the pick. He runs that slip pick, which is almost a fake pick. So the defender thinks, oh, he's going down. He's going to set a pick at Medeiros. He drops his head back, says, I should have been with him there. Rouet just using that craftiness. He's the Rooster. The year of the Rooster.
Cockle-doodle-doo. He gets the first goal in Desert Dogs home history. Rouet coming over from Albany, where he played last season. Nearly escaped again off the draw to potentially score.
And this has the fans into it, as we're going to have a penalty on Cornwall here. And we've got an illegal body check there.
All right.
Travis Cornwall maybe giving a piece of his mind to his old teammates there.
So that opens the door now for Panther City to get that goal back.
So the situation, we have a face-off draw man, Tyler Burton. He is in a vulnerable position, so you're not allowed to come and hit a player when they're in that vulnerable position. You see he's not able to brace for impact, and that's why they call him for the penalty there.
Donville, the point guard of the power play, the rookie out of Maryland. Loose ball collected by Vegas. Barclay into the O-zone. They'll look to bleed some clock.
And you can feel the energy just starting to build in Michelob Ultra Arena. They got a taste of a goal, and they want more here, Brendan.
Scored 11 last week on the road. Reinforcements have arrived on offense with Hellier dotting up top. King, Greer, and Bertrand are back. But still time to kill on the power play. Malcolm has it poked from behind. A terrific heads-up defense by Vegas.
And Kirst gets caught from behind. And then Malcolm going the other way gets caught from behind. So great back checking by both teams here. Keeping each other honest in the offensive zone. You don't disappear when you run by a guy.
Sean Williams says of Jack Hanna, the rookie, he plays the right way, digs in on every possession, offense or defense. Donville feeds, 4 to shoot. Kells backpedals, ball never went near the goal line. No time to shoot. They give him a reset?
And you can see the official nearest us is motioning for a reset. The shot clock didn't reset, so they're going to have to keep that reset time on the floor.
Donville gave it a rip. McIntosh off ball, applies pressure. Still 20 seconds to kill. Cornwall sitting in the sin bin.
Tyler Burton with that can opener gets his stick in there and then uses his body to turn Wagner. And we've got an up and down affair here.
Both teams are playing off the energy of the home crowd. Wagner sprints for it. Burton and Hossack in there for Panther City. Transition develops. 5-on-5 Lacrosse after the penalty bleeds out. Bertrand swings the ball. Jacob Rouet with the first goal in Desert Dogs home history. Charlie Bertrand rips. Save Demuth. Leads to a timeout on the floor. Panther City has outplayed Vegas for much of the night, but it's only a 1-goal game as we come up on 4 to play.
Jacob Rouet has cut the lead. Panther City leads 2-1. We'll be back.
More truck owners are switching to Ram. which means more people with holiday spirit are switching to Ram. And more people with not so much. More people who love the cold. And more people who don't. More good neighbors. And more people covered in tree sap are switching to Ram.
Now get $3,000 total bonus cash plus no monthly payments for 90 days on the 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab.
What will you do? What will you change? Will you make something better? Will you create something entirely new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with the tools and expertise you need to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us.
Discover Card could reduce the number of unwanted calls and emails. Introducing Discover Online Privacy Protection. Discover will help remove your personal data from 10 popular people search websites. Online Privacy Protection. Free from Discover.
Here's what's coming up at the half, brought to you by Guaranteed Rate. A terrific backstory on Sean Williams, his lacrosse coaching story, how he arrived in Las Vegas. A weekend preview in the NLL. Tonight's only Friday. Plenty of games coming up tomorrow. We'll get your first half stats and highlights from this defensive battle here at Michelob Ultra Arena. Brendan Glasheen, Mitch Belisle, Devin Caney, we are thrilled to be with you. Lacrosse in Vegas for the first time. Quick twist and rip by Caputo. Good to see him back out there for Panther City. He took a nasty hit in the first quarter.
Weird bounce there as they're getting over and back, and that ball must have hit something on the boards. It came back towards the Desert Dogs' end. It's one of those goofy bounces that can come back to bite you later in the game.
Panther City has 17 shots on goal to Las Vegas 12. Loose ball category edge Panther City, and that was a category they wanted to fine-tune. Vegas had the 50-50 balls last week. A chance to maybe tie the game. Cornwall stops on the brakes. Here comes the offense. Reinhold circling the crease. Reinhold shoots, save Damoud. He had his eyes locked on him like prey.
Reinhold with a beautiful swim move. He reaches across, tries to get the dive. And Malcolm with the strike in transition. And that's the other Malcolm brother with the goal tonight.
There's no Malcolm in the middle, just two of them. Will's older brother, Tony, who also came from the Albany Firewolves, like Jacob Brouet, but he wears the other uniform. Panther City scores another, an insurance goal up 3-1.
We see Reinhold go for that dive, and that just creates quick transition the other way. Tony Malcolm pushes a pace, nothing fancy here, uses that defender as a screen. This is where, as a defender, see Connor Kersey kind of stops his feet. You need to attack the stickhead, force that player to either go on the run or to pass it up. They've gotten caught by that a couple times in the previous two games.
And Tony does a lot of the little things. Last year in Albany, he was third on the Firewolves in loose balls, second in caused turnovers, does a lot to impact the game outside of just being a sniper on the break. His 7th NLL season. He's from New Westminster, British Columbia.
And Tyler Burton gets a clean win there, but it's Vegas who comes up with the ball. Just great pressure by their ball team. The other 4 members involved in the face-off coming in and supporting. That's a huge area of focus that they wanted to improve. Panther City wanted to improve this game.
Here's Zach Greer. Stop and start, swim move, Greer. That's a terrific collapse, Mitch, by Evan Messenger to assist Damoud.
Yeah, Greer did a nice job of getting underneath, but then that support again forced him to pull it back short side. Damoud hugged his pipe, and there was nowhere for Greer to go with the ball as he collided with the defenders.
At times, watching Panther City defensively, you say to yourself, do they have more than 5 guys out there? The way they're rotating up and down in the D zone, very impressive. Milligan, the swing pass. pass. Farrell comes up empty. Loose ball to the Desert Dogs as we approach 2 to play in the first half. The 15th franchise in the NLL, Vegas. The 14th, Panther City. Shot on the move. Damu is there. Airs it out.
And that's going to be, you can see the frustration on Subak is not happy as they're going to call too many men on the floor for an early illegal substitution, I'm sorry. So you are allowed to leave as soon as one of your teammates gets into, there's a black box about 2 feet outside of your door. You can leave as soon as your offensive player gets into that black box. They're saying that Jackson Subak took off. You can see the frustration on his face. They're saying one of the defenders took off too early, and they'll be down a man again.
Third chance for Panther City on the power play. The first goal of the game was scored on the power play, chance number 4 of the game. And it was Dean Farrell who capitalized. Donville, the rookie, first overall pick a year ago. Caputo, passes intercepted. John Wagner, lethal on the break. Wagner tiptoes, spins, and rolls out.
And smart decision by a veteran leader. He wanted to take that shot.
Sure
like you talked about, how do you stay disciplined when you're down? That's exactly how. You get leaders like that that say, you know what, we're man down. I'm going to pull this ball out, and I'm going to let my offense work this shot clock down, kill this penalty off for us, and then we'll go back and play defense 4 on 5.
Says a lot for just a third-year player, and he scored 2 goals last week. One was shorthanded, and the other was the first in team history to start the scoring in Fort Worth last week. Panther City with the extra man. This will bleed into the second half. 40 seconds in regulation, a minute in the penalty. Doorstep, Caputo scores.
Will Malcolm to Phil Caputo. That's a connection that had a lot of success last week. These are, on a young team, 2 veterans. And that cross crease pass, if you let that through, it's so difficult for a goalie to defend. We see just great ball movement, a little pick action on the inside, and that cross crease pass, that one gets through.
Mitch, I was so impressed with Caputo in shoot-around this morning. We saw him last year quite a bit when we traveled to Fort Worth. Just his leadership. He's emerged now his first year as an assistant captain, taking the A from Jeremy Thompson. Well respected. Got more of a leash on offense after starting slow last year, but Coach Koleski told us he was pulling young guys aside between quarters last week. Just the subtleties that he brings to the table.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that people just gravitate towards. He has that aura to him. When you play on a team, sometimes those guys are your captains. Sometimes they're just the people that you want to surround yourselves with, and he's one of those. Talking to Donville, as I mentioned a couple weeks ago, he was another one who said, I just feel myself naturally going to Phil, asking him questions, trying to learn from him. So he's really taken on that leadership role, and you can see not only does it pay dividends in getting that team camaraderie going, but also on the floor in their production.
Use it or lose it, timeout taken by Vegas. 30.3 left, so the shot clock remains on. 30-second shot clock in the National Lacrosse League. But we have an upcoming face-off because of a goal. The debut of Lacrosse in Vegas, much anticipated. The franchise awarded to Sin City in June of 2021. A year and a half later, we are here at Michelob Ultra Arena. And these Desert Dogs, they came to play down 3, but they have been fighting. So I beg your pardon, they had a face-off, won by Vegas, took a timeout. In all likelihood, they'll pull their goalie as well.
Yeah, we see Landon Kels, he's hovering, deciding they're going to wait till it's about 9 seconds, and they're going to run a drawn-out play here. It looks like here goes Kels, so they didn't want to risk it in case PCLC put pressure on them. They'll get that 6 attacker on, and they're going to run this with about 9 seconds on the clock.
If they can score here, this place might erupt. Marshall King to Greer, 6 seconds. Greer looking for Reinhold. Still loose. Hannah runs out of real estate and time. Las Vegas scored its only goal in this quarter, trailing by 3.
And that was just the epitome of what we've seen from this Panther City defense, is just knocking down passes, soaking shots defensively, and putting pressure all over the Vegas Desert Dogs in the offensive end that they just have not been able to figure out ways to get through.
4-1 is our score, and that's great resiliency by Panther City responding to the energy in the building. Jacob Rouet, the goal scorer for Vegas, downstairs with Tevin.
Jacob, you notched the first goal at home for the Las Vegas Desert Dogs. Take me through that moment.
Yeah, you know, just to play off the bench. You know, you're just trying to do your job, cutting through the middle. Found a lane. Marcia did a good job finding me inside and put on net, and good things happen.
First and only goal for your team. How do you guys get things going offensively in the second half?
You know, we're working hard. We got the shots we want to get. You know, it's just about those balls dropping. So, you know, get in the middle of the floor, keep those shots coming. I think they're going to drop for us.
All right, thanks, Jacob.
The Guaranteed Rate halftime report coming your way next. We'll find out why Sean Williams decided to go for this. The coaching opportunity here in Vegas. An electric atmosphere at Michelob Ultra Arena. Panther City 4, Desert Dogs 1. Halftime starts now.
Sports fans are gearing up at NLLshop.com, the official online store of the National Lacrosse League, and the largest assortment of officially licensed NLL fan gear anywhere, with unique one-of-a-kind designs, team jerseys, and much more for every National Lacrosse League team. Don't wait. Shop now and get today's special offer. NLLshop.com, a Fanatics experience.
BlendJet's holiday sale is on now. Save big on the #1 gift this holiday season. The BlendJet 2 portable blender gives you ice-crushing, big blender power on the go. Throw in your favorite ingredients and blend up a delicious smoothie anytime, anywhere. BlendJet 2 even cleans itself. Just add water, a drop of soap, and blend. Recharge quickly with any USB port. Order now from blendjet.com and get our best deal ever.
This is it. The big interview. Don't be nervous. You took classes from Yale in your bedroom, earned certificates from Google on that crowded, slightly stinky train ride, and went to Duke in your pajamas. So don't stop now.
You ready?
You're more than ready. Jump over the giant metaphorical pit of doubt. With over 5,000 courses and degrees from world-class institutions on Coursera. Learn without limits.
Do you have an invention idea? Go to inventhelp.com to get started today. We have services to showcase your invention. This holiday season, why not do something for yourself? Go to inventhelp.com or call 844-7INVENT for free information.
When Wingstop made a chicken sandwich, you know they wouldn't make just one. Now you can have 12 new sauce and toss favorites, like lemon pepper, mango habanero, and OG hot. So try the new chicken sandwich for only $5.49 at Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings.
Why is everyone talking about Navage and nasal irrigation?
I am one who suffers from chronic sinus infection.
You need to clean that crap out of your nose.
Navage is simple. Your nose is the body's air filter, but it's not perfect. Navage is a drug-free way to help flush out allergens, mucus, and germs using powered suction. Join nearly 3 million Navage users so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier.
I love this thing.
It's nice to breathe.
Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Welcome into the Guaranteed Rate halftime report. Panther City leads Las Vegas 4-1. Michelob Ultra Arena, the site for tonight's action. The debut of the Vegas Desert Dogs in their home building. Sean Williams is their general manager and head coach. Played 17 years in the NLL, inducted into the NLL Hall of Fame in 2021. While the game can often be quite physical, it was the emotional journey and the lessons he learned from his youngest son, Tucker, 8 years ago tomorrow, that have left a lasting impact on Sean and the entire league. Here's Devin Caney.
The opportunity to be the general manager and a coach of a team and living in Las Vegas, it's like when it's like, yeah, I'm in, but I really had reservations.
Another opportunity to get better, right? Dogs on 3. 1, 2, 3. Here we go.
Tucker's like, what are you waiting for? Like, let's go. You know, that's all I could think. But we were blessed. Dyson, his name is. We had him fairly early. Continued on with our daughter, Delana. Then our son, Tucker. They were always with me in the locker room. It was just such a special feeling. Usually Tucker would tell everybody where they're playing. Third born, he was the boss.
He was Sean as a kid. He was the leader of his friends, right? He was this special kid. Didn't even know how old he was because he was so good at everything he did.
Tucker was having trouble. When he was sleeping, he was just having trouble catching his breath. We found out that he did have a mass. It was up in his upper palate and going into kind of his throat. They told us that, it was in fact Burkitt's lymphoma. Whew. I would not wish, those words on anybody. They took the mass out and they got a lot of it, so we were very hopeful. And then he started treatment right away. By May, he was back playing lacrosse.
51, Tucker Williams.
And he was just, so beautiful to watch and smooth. We were in a good dreamland again, just watching our son doing what he loves best. They're all celebrating. They won the championship, and he kind of looked at me, he's like, kind of had a little tear. I'll never forget just that sinking feeling you have, and it was back. They pretty much kind of told us it was terminal. His final moments, you could tell he was struggling. I just whispered, "You're good. You don't have to fight anymore." Because he wouldn't stop fighting. One of my family members said how brave he was, and the nurse just said, "No, he's braver than brave." And then that's when that took on a whole life of its own, the braver than brave.
Today, the Buffalo Bandits will host the 7th annual Tucker Out Lymphoma Night.
That night it's full of emotions. Seeing the lacrosse world come together and celebrate a life that was so special.
It's one of those things, in the darkest days or in your darkest hours, never give up. And I think that's the legacy of Tucker, really, just never give up.
Powerful story on Sean Williams, and here's his career background in lacrosse, but he thinks about Tucker all the time, and what he said to us, Mitch Belisle, this week was, Tucker would tell me to go for this gig and go for this job with Vegas, and he's instilling that same character into his players. But you're a father, your reaction to what Sean's had to go through, and you've got youngsters that want to play sports too. It's camaraderie is so important.
Yeah, and you can see just the impact that he has, not just on Sean Williams' life, but on how he passes that on to others. And anytime you're part of a tragedy, if you can turn that into something positive, if you can take that message that's so difficult and turn that into something good, then you're honoring that legacy no matter what. And he's clearly doing that with Tucker Williams, and you can just see the emotion and the way he coaches these players. It's a beautiful thing. The guys have bought in.
Rest in peace, Tucker. Sean Williams thinks about his son all the time. His team down 3 at recess. The Guaranteed Rate halftime report rolls on here in Vegas.
Bah, humbug. My signal is totally ghosting me.
You need a better network. 'Tis the season to switch to Verizon. They'll give you the new iPhone 14 Pro.
Amazing phone.
This holiday season, Verizon gives you the new iPhone 14 Pro, plus an Apple gift like Apple Watch SE, iPad, and Beats Fit Pro, all on us and in stock now. That's a value of up to $1,900.
Wow!
And there are unlimited plans for everyone, starting at just $35 a line. Act now. It's our best deal of the year, but it ends soon. Visit Verizon today.
Ugh, this rental car is so boring to drive.
Let's be honest. The rent-a-car industry is the definition of boring, and the reason can be found in the name itself. Rent a car? You don't want a friend. You want the friend. You don't want a job. You want the job. The is always over a. That's why we don't offer a car. We offer the car. Sixth, rent the car.
First, there's an idea, and you do something about it for the first time. Then, before you know it, you make your first sale. Small business firsts never stop coming, and you have a partner that always puts you first.
No way.
GoDaddy, tools and support for every small business first.
Attention shoppers.
I have a structured settlement and I need cash now. Call J.G. Wentworth, 877 cash now.
I am an annuity, but I need cash now.
Call J.G. Wentworth, 877 cash now. 877 cash now. They help thousands, they'll help you too. One lump sum of cash they will pay to you. Get long-term payments, but you need cash now. Call J.G. Wentworth, 877 cash now. 877 cash now.
877 cash now.
877 cash now.
It's your money. Use it when you need it.
Call J.G. Wentworth, 877 cash now.
Wear by Erin Andrews, my sportswear collection for all women, is now officially licensed with more leagues. Women can support their teams in fashion-forward apparel everywhere, anywhere. Find it at fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
Welcome back. Week 3 in the National Lacrosse League underway tonight here in Vegas. Panther City by 3. How about Calgary destroying Vancouver? The Warriors in jeopardy of going to 0-3. And then we've got to wrap this one up because someone here needs to get their butt to New York and call the Riptide game against Halifax. You're making me look bad. I'm not going to Albany for the Firewolves game.
Yeah, that should be a great matchup. Jeff Teat and the New York Riptide taking on Randy Stotts and the Halifax Thunderbirds. Quick flight over to the East Coast, and we'll be there tomorrow night.
And Colorado and Panther City tomorrow. The Panther City Lacrosse Club early flight tomorrow. The Mammoth already camping out in Fort Worth ahead of that one. Soleil in the house. Great look here in Vegas. We'll get you set for the second half when we return to Michelob Ultra Arena.
This right here is confidence in a bottle.
Not only does it change you on the outside, but something in the inside, knowing that you're looking better.
It makes me feel so much more confident than I've ever felt in my life.
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Well, today we're going to see one for ourselves and let you be the judge. It's called Plexiderm, and lifestyle expert Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real, and I'm so excited. We even have a video, and you'll notice the model has bags underneath his eyes and some sagging, and all he uses is a small amount on a clean, dry face, and that's how easy it is.
All right, what's the active ingredient?
Okay, so it's silicates that are minerals found in shale rock, and what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes, and as little as 10 minutes, no prescriptions, and very little effort. Even watching the video, this is a real, it's a model, but it's a real guy with real bags underneath his eyes.
My real true opinion is holy words I can't say on camera. This is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It was amazing. It feels good. Feels great. Looks even better.
And I did this to my father. We were at home. So we applied it to his under eye bags. And let me tell you, we were so excited. In under 10 minutes, they visibly disappeared from view. And now it is literally part of both of our daily routines. He calls me every single month saying, "Hey, Annette, I'm out of Plexiderm, please send me more. And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles. The way you want to do it is you want to have a clean, dry face. You use a small amount because it's so powerful. You have high school reunions, you have events you want to go to, you want to look years younger, this is it.
This holiday season is the best time to try Plexiderm at our startup price of only $14.95. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
This time of year sparks the imagination of everyone, young and old. Do you have an invention but don't know what to do next? This holiday season, it's time to do something with your idea. Go to inventhelp.com now to get your free inventor's information. InventHelp provides invention services that help everyday inventors get started with their idea. We have representatives nationwide who will explain the InventHelp process step by step. Over 10,000 patents have been secured through InventHelp's patent referral services. Our services include professional materials needed to showcase your invention and 3D animation and prototype modeling to help you demonstrate your idea. The InventHelp Databank includes thousands of companies who have agreed to review new ideas. Every year, you do so much for the ones you love. This holiday season, why not do something for yourself? Go to inventhelp.com now or call 844-7-INVENT for your free information. Happy holidays from your friends at InventHelp.
Ugh, this rental car is so boring to drive.
Let's be honest. The rent-a-car industry is the definition of boring, and the reason can be found in the name itself. Rent-a-car? You don't want a friend. You want the friend. You don't want a job. You want the job. The is always over a. That's why we don't offer a car. We offer the car. Sixth, rent the car.
And we're back at Michelob Ultra Arena, set for the second half. Panther City and the Vegas Desert Dogs. 4-1 lead for Panther City. Brendan Glasheen, Mitch Belisle. We've had a lot of fun tonight here in Vegas. You know, Tracy Koloski, head coach of PCLC, was like, our assertiveness on defense was not very good last week in the first half, and they took it to the Desert Dogs to spoil the home fans a bit in this home opener.
Yeah, they went out and they got some pieces in the offseason to really toughen up that defense, and that toughness is showed in this first half. They were collapsing on D. They're double and triple teaming the ball. Anytime it hit the deck or anytime someone caught it inside that dangerous area, they were swarming. They even were getting so aggressive that they were throwing guys out of the arena as we saw the door pop open and a player go, here it is right here. Jack Hanna, get out of here. Pushes them right out. So that's the kind of smothering defense they were looking for, and that's what's delivering, and that's what's separating things right now.
Rubber on the goal, 22-15 shots on goal. Panther City could very well be leading by more than just 3.
Yeah, great job by Landon Kells to stop the initial shots. He's got to control those rebounds, and then they got to see equivalent shots going on Nick DeMude, get him moving off of his line.
Brandon Cleland, 4 of 6 at the faceoff dot. Vegas off and running early. DeMude stops it.
And there's something you don't see too often in the NLL as Connor Kerr switches hands, puts that in his left. That's one of the benefits of bringing in, you know, the two-handed American-style player. You get that option, but Nick DeMude hugs his pipe, does a nice job protecting that.
Last week's game, these teams faced each other a week ago. You really never see that to begin a season. Panther City outscored Vegas 6-2 in the third quarter. But Vegas, off winning the draw on the wing, took it right to DeMude. Hellier looks for Rouet, quick pass. Greer gets drilled, the follow shot. DeMude somehow prevents it from going over the goal. And he stops, drops, and rolls like there's an emergency. There was fire here earlier in the building. Safety first, and we have a penalty.
See Zach Greer here, just takes one right to the chops. You can't see it, it's just at the top of your screen here. But he takes that initial shot and gets popped up high. That'll be a 2-minute penalty. They'll get an opportunity, only their second power play opportunity here for the Vegas Desert Dogs.
Last week they went 1 for 2 on the power play. Hanna up top on the Owen Dogs. Hellier shoots. DeMude creeps up. And he makes the save. Medeiros assists. Shovels it out to Sellers, your former teammate in Georgia.
And Marshall King right there, he cut the middle on that initial pass. He was wide open for a second. They wanted to run through their motion, so they didn't pass it to him. But look for them to look for the quick strike to Marshall King on the inside next time, because he was so clearly open early.
Still 80 seconds left in the chance. Panther City bids for a shorty. Loose ball to the Desert Dogs. 2-on-1 developed. Defense spills onto the floor for PCLC.
34 Conakers. He has been all over the floor tonight. He was one of the players that Sean Williams said, I want that guy. Watching the Georgia Swarm last year, he loved his energy. And Hellier there just tries to catch Damoud sleeping.
He's been everywhere in Vegas, Sellers, even on top of the Strat Las Vegas, where he scored the world's highest lacrosse goal. Pretty cool stuff. And Kirst, of course, has that big grin on his face, as he always does. Hellier dishes. Greer scores. That might be a moment to get this crowd going.
And Zach Greer goes over, gives the arms, pumping up the crowd. He wants the building on his side, and he's getting it with a little low to high rip coming over the little seal. We saw them work on this exact move in practice. Jack Hanna sets a pick for the shooter, then he turns and he sets another pick on the other side for Zach Greer. So Jack Hanna there, nice job for the American from Ohio, setting the double seal, allowing Zach Greer that time. And when you give that guy that kind of room, he's gonna make you pay.
He can warm the hearts of people, he can break the hearts, especially those that went to Cornell back in 2007, 2008. Does that ring a bell, Mitch?
Still feels fresh, Brennan.
Is that too soon?
Too soon. Still too soon.
14 years later?
He's a great guy, though.
Great guy. Greer, 36 years old, 12th year in the league, has spent time in Edmonton, Minnesota, Saskatchewan, Colorado, San Diego, his most recent stop. There was a mutual parting of ways with the Seals, was excited about the opportunity. Rouet fires. Bertrand almost delivered a follow-through. Loose ball to Panther City. It's a 2-goal game in Sin City. Great to have you with us on ESPN2. Brendan Glashee, Mitch Belisle, Devin Caney. Lacrosse in Vegas.
We've got Wayne Gretzky. We've got Steve Nash. We've got Devontae Adams. We've got all the non-lacrosse, or I should say former lacrosse players. Steve Nash from Victoria, British Columbia, played lacrosse growing up. Wayne Gretzky played a little lacrosse growing up.
Will Malcolm has his shot disrupted. Pushed up the floor, Garrett McIntosh. The dish. Shot on goal, Damoud saves it. Tyson Rowe went for it all.
Travis Cornwall, he was dead center. Both Panther City players dropped off of him. I would have loved to see him take that shot himself, but he gives it to the 6'10" big man looking for the dunk in the post.
6'10", you should be able to dunk it, right? Donville, the rookie, he fired on the run. Up and down we go here when Griniuk will roll out, and the offense back on now. Panther City can get in it set. 3 seconds to shoot, though. Have they reset the clock? I think they were supposed to. They'll let them play on offensively. Now it hits 0.
You could see Mark Gardonia using his arm to count out.
There's been some issues with the clock, so we apologize at home if that comes off as flamboyant or off. Barclay got it in deep in the zone offensively, and now he'll leave the floor.
You can feel Vegas knocking at the door, starting to get confidence. It seemed like they were back on their heels the whole first half. This half, they're attacking on their toes. They're attacking the goal. But can they get it past Damoud?
Bertrand has fought for opportunities tonight. High volume shooter acquired via trade after the expansion draft. Connor Fields, Riley Hutchcraft, a #1 pick to Rochester. Second pick goes back to Vegas, including Bertrand. A 4th, a 6th, and a 2023 first. Blockbuster move by the expansion club Las Vegas.
An interesting journey for Charlie Bertrand. Played at Merrimack before transferring to UVA with his COVID year. Now plays professionally both in the indoor and outdoor league.
Merrimack College, great hockey program, and I love the fact they have a Dunkin' Donuts inside their athletic facility.
That's about as Boston as you can get.
Hellier missiles one wide. Just couldn't help myself. Bertrand, a couple of national championships with the Warriors, and we have a break on the floor. Vegas gets a much-needed goal from their veteran who did not play last week. Zach Greer puts him on the board. It's 4-2, Panther City.
5 minutes, fellas, 5 minutes.
Hey, appreciate it, man. Oh, okay, you getting that bet in before the boom, huh?
Yeah, you LA all the way.
What? Oh, come on, man. You know it's Boston, baby.
KG, I understand why you said it, but it's LA.
Jay, are you serious?
You know what? It's LA.
Why are you standing up?
Because it's LA. You know what? You ain't scaring me. Let me tell you something. That ain't
It's
enough.
Boston, Boston, Boston.
It's LA.
Why pay over $100 a month for cable when it's half the cost for Fubo TV? Get all the channels you want with all the entertainment you love for the price that cable can't beat. Try free at FuboTV.com.
In-laws are on their way, and I need to somehow get dinner together. Time to cart it. Farm fresh chicken, organic veggies, and that cab from Sonoma they like. Top shelf all the way. Short notice dinner is in the bag. I think I've earned myself a pre-dinner martini. When you're low on time and your in-laws have high standards, the world is your cart. Visit Instacart.com or download the app and get free delivery on your first order.
Sure, you should teach him to ride a bike. Then use Greenlight and teach him how to invest in bikes. Teach him to be smart about money and he'll go far.
Super car. Oh, hey, Mom.
Navigate the world of money together. Invest in your best investment. Greenlight.
The National Lacrosse League is brought to you by
Janet.
Experience, officially licensed everything. And by Guaranteed Rate. Now more than ever, you need the best. The Strip in Vegas, the key to the Strip, handed to Wayne Gretzky, one of the owners of the Las Vegas Desert Dogs, taking in the action, a former box player himself. Great atmosphere here at Michelob Ultra Arena, home of the Desert Dogs. Mitch, I haven't asked you this yet. I know we've talked about it off air, but what do you make of the rink in terms of the build, how it fits for box?
This is almost the perfect setup for the NLL. You've got a nice, intimate crowd, a good fan base that's a mix of lacrosse people, non-lacrosse people who just want to come out and have a great time, and they're excited to be here and see box lacrosse happen. A lot of them for the first time they've ever seen it.
Vegas has emphasized running off the stop. Wagner dishes to Barclay. Maybe a little too fast that time.
And that was the second time they need that spark. We talked about being poised in transition, but those are the opportunities. When you get that close, you gotta take some chances here, being down 4-2.
Good to see Barclay healthy. Just 6 games played last year in Halifax. Malcolm on the swing, attempts near side, misses. Nowhere near the goal. Tyson Rowe, 6'10", matched up with the defender Foley.
Reminiscent of the Morgan brothers from back in the day. Played with Rich Morgan on the Swarm. I remember taking an ice bath with him. I had to crunch into a little ball to let him fit. 6'11" frame.
Hannah swims, tiptoes out, 7 to shoot. Bertrand to Greer, down he goes.
Medeiros, what a hit there. Greer turns to shoot. All he sees is a face full of cross-check from Josh Medeiros. That is the swarming defense that Panther City has used to keep this cushion.
Steve Toll making those adjustments in training camp. We want to be more aggressive and assertive on the defensive end. Panther City played in some shootouts last year, started 1-8, 6-3 in their final 9, 7-11 record in the mix in the West. 7 minutes into the third, a scrum in the corner, possession to the Desert Dogs.
You see Jackson Subak there, drops his stick, keeps playing like hockey if you can play without your stick. Does a nice job of playing the body, killing that shot clock, and he gets possession back for his team.
Subak went to a great hockey school, UMass. The Minutemen, national champions a couple of years ago. Loose ball once more grabbed by PCLC. Motoring in, a chance for Cummings. And he comes up empty. Turner has the ball fall in his lap. Hellier, the point man on offense. Won a championship with Toronto, was there for 10 years, 600-plus career points. Bertrand to the middle of the floor. Hannah to Hellier, 10 to shoot. Hellier has his stick poked out.
There was a helicopter there as his stick went flying.
Can I also add, doing notes this week, Hellier gets auto-corrected to hell yeah.
They're looking for some hell yeah from Hellier tonight. His underneath, quick top step to the underneath move. That's what they need to open up for him. Jack Hanna, if he can engage up high and give Hellier that underneath lane, we've yet to see that tonight.
Most autocorrects aren't cool. That was my point. In deep to Donville. He's been still trying to figure out his game. 4 seconds to shoot on the clock. And a hit on Wengreniuk by Reinhold. That's costly.
That's a tough one. They did a great job of putting pressure on defensively. You can hear the crowd doesn't like it. And then Reinhold finishes his check, giving the ball right back.
Will Malcolm, 3 points on the 4 goals for Panther City, a goal and 2 assists. His brother Tony has a transition goal. Flipped back by Messenger. Loose ball to Subak.
Huge credit to the Desert Dogs defense. They're getting up in passing lanes. The ease with which Panther City had swinging the ball back and forth between their forwards, that's not there anymore. So they're really having to work to get that ball from side to side. That's reducing the opportunities that they had in the first half of the game.
Vegas closing the gap on loose balls, 38-35, still Panther City the edge. Marshall King dishes, Bertrand, he has struggled. Greer the follow-up, Taymood, quick reaction. Bertrand again, he scores!
When it rains, it pours. Shot after shot, and Bertrand finally has the nail that pierces the wood. He puts it in the 5-hole between Damoud's legs on the 3rd chance opportunity. And that's a 2-goal run for Las Vegas. It took a while, but we'll call that a run. Greer is beside himself that he doesn't score on the initial putback. You can see with a shot hits off Damoud's butt end. Greer can't believe he misses that. And then Bertrand, Johnny on the spot, he took the initial shot and gets rewarded as the ball comes right back to him. That's what they talk about when they say crashing the net, attacking those rebounds.
Well, we talked about the loose ball gap shrinking. Wagner comes up with the ball on the wing. He shoots right away. Kirst is there. Another Lucy to Vegas. They get a reset on the clock.
And another stick tossed out of the hands of a Vegas offensive player.
You got to think too, Mitch, sigh of relief for Bertrand. He's had a hard time tonight to get going. Sticking with it, though, and that's what Sean Williams, he did for a long time as a player for 17 years.
12-round fighter.
That's right.
4 quarters, you break it up into 5-minute segments, that's 12 rounds, and another save. We lose a glove. Lenny Kells is saying, I don't have a glove. I can't play without my glove. And the ref finally stops and allows him to pick up his glove here. What a save there by Landon Kells going cross crease. That quick east-west movement, I brought it up 2 or 3 times, but that is how you get a goalie to move. He makes that save, and as he goes back, he loses his glove.
Landon Kells looking at the official like he's Peter Pettigrew to Voldemort. Thank you, Master, for giving me my hand back. Under 5 to go in the 3rd. It's a 1-goal game in Vegas. Panther City 4, Desert Dogs 3. Air Kirst, the longest goal in NLL history, and the highest goal, too.
What will you do? What will you change? Will you make something better? Will you create something entirely new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with the tools and expertise you need to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us.
Ah, humbug. My signal is totally ghosting me.
You need a better network. 'Tis the season to switch to Verizon. They'll give you the new iPhone 14 Pro.
Amazing phone.
This holiday season, Verizon gives you the new iPhone 14 Pro, plus an Apple gift like Apple Watch SE, iPad, and Beats Fit Pro, all on us and in stock now. That's a value of up to $1,900.
Wow.
And there are unlimited plans for everyone, starting at just $35 a line. Act now. It's our best deal of the year, but it ends soon. Visit Verizon today.
Ugh, this rental car is so boring to drive.
Let's be honest. The rent-a-car industry is the definition of boring, and the reason can be found in the name itself. Rent-a-car? You don't want a friend. You want the friend. You don't want a job. You want the job. The is always over a. That's why we don't offer a car. We offer the car. Sixth, rent the car.
Like brother, appreciate it.
We got it! Let's go! Friday, December 16th, let's go!
The world's highest lacrosse goal at the Strat Las Vegas, Connor Kirst. You think you could do something like that?
You know what? Bad news, Brendan. I checked in with the Guinness Book of World Records. He was thumbing the ball. Did you see? He thumbed the ball at the top. No goal. Mitch Belisle says no goal. Sorry, Connor.
You can take that up with him after the game. Panther City has the ball up 1-4-3, one-goal game. Panther City played in 7 one-goal games a year ago. They suffered heartbreak early in the season, then they were resilient. Desert Dogs, the 15th, the newest franchise in the National Lacrosse League. Panther City, their initiation was last year. So the 2 newest teams in the league. Here's Hannah, bullying in, switched hands. That was magnificent, except the finish.
He went for the underhand scoop. This is what I want to see out of Jack Hannah. He's so fast, he's so shifty. Instead of backpedaling when he's getting pressured, run through that pressure. He got to the middle. Maybe next time he pulls that out and then lets the offense come in. You look for the 3rd, 4th trailer off the bench. That's where the secondary opportunities come from.
Hannah, super new to box lacrosse. He logged many hours during the team's Friday night box sessions for the Ohio Collegiate Box Lacrosse League in the summer a couple of years ago. Great write-up by Adam Levy of Inside Lacrosse on Hannah's journey from Denver to the NLL.
Awesome seeing that opportunity for so many college players to get the real box experience, and now starting to translate into real success in the NLL, the world's premier box lacrosse league.
And Hannah's on the same path, it feels like, as Trevor Baptiste, who's in Philadelphia, also played at Denver, also played in that same league. Cleland over the timeline, Vegas in the black and white uniforms, Panther City road whites, the purple trim in the belly area. Panther City also plays tomorrow night. They're back home in Fort Worth, hosting the reigning NLL champions, the Colorado Mammoth.
The Mammoth really struggled in their first outing offensively. It'll be interesting to see how they can put it together with some key pieces of their lineup missing early in the season.
We are nearing crunch time. Under 3 to play in the 3rd, a 1-goal game. Vegas just had the ball, a chance to tie. Liam Burns works his way up the floor. Panther City in the O-zone. Pass to the door, nearly. Farrell, that was great passing, and Farrell got that shot off a quick stick.
And a big congrats go out to Liam Burns. He just made the U.S. national team. They announced that. So for field lacrosse, he'll be playing in San Diego during the World Championships this upcoming summer in 2023.
His 5th year in the NLL. Hellier switches hands. Rouet, laser beam over the crossbar. Transition for Panther City. Shot, Malcolm, not this time. Tony denied.
And Rouet jumped up looking for that rebound. That allowed Tony Malcolm to spring out. And he just runs out of real estate. Landon Kels has made some huge saves in this 3rd quarter to keep the Desert Dogs within striking distance.
Reinhold works around the screen. Greer still moving for him. Slow shot by Reinhold to maybe throw Damoud off.
Yeah, there was a little hip bouncer, almost the bouncer near your own feet, trying to get that upstairs on the short side.
Here's Burton. He's got a great story, too. Tyler Burton, his former teammate Joel McCready, he told him of Rochester's open slot years ago in 2010. He was signed by the Nighthawks 30 minutes into training camp. His dad drove him to practice, and now he's carved out a 12-year career. His latest stop, Panther City. Loose ball once more to the Desert Dogs. They have closed the gap. The loose balls are just about even now.
Yeah, that is the difference. The ability to take away those second chance opportunities, keep Panther City on the run offensively, and take away those east-west swing passes. And then Landon Kels making the saves he needs to.
The discipline on display by Panther City. Burns thought about going in deep, decided to roll it out. Farrell has it. 43 seconds left of the quarter. 1-goal game in Vegas. Oh, Donville denied. Kels has been locked in the second half, really since that early slow start in the first quarter.
And one thing I'm noticing, every time there's a shot, there's a white jersey on the ground around the crease. So finishing their checks, it caught him that one time with Ryan Holt getting the call back, but from here on out, they've knocked down the Panther City players, making it difficult.
It's a 2-second differential, game clock and shot clock. Hellier waiting for the ball up top. Hanna to Turner. Nothing there. 7 seconds. Panther City with 3 seconds. Holding on to a lead.
Last second shot, or they won't, as Vegas collapses down.
And tempers flaring. While it's not technically a back-to-back, it is the second straight week these two teams meet. So it is back-to-back meetings, just not back-to-back nights. Maybe they're getting sick of each other.
We saw a little tilt in the first game and a 4-3 game. I don't know that we're going to.
We will make the turn for home at Michelob Ultra Arena in Vegas. A 1-goal game. Defense is prevailing. Stick with us.
At Domino's, next time you order 2 medium 2-topping pizzas for $6.99 each, you could be in for a shock. Because hundreds of new electric vehicles are rolling out to deliver Domino's across America.
You're good. I'm great. When you're ready to go, but static says, whoa. Try Bounce Lasting Fresh. More freshness, more softness, less static, less wrinkles. New Bounce Lasting Fresh. Yeah, it's the sheet.
Teaching her how to drive. But Dad, why not use Greenlight to help her save for her own car? Mowing lawns, getting paid. Oh, smoothies. Is that strawberry? Soon, she'll go from washing your car to flexing with her own. And now, power her independence with Greenlight Infinity. With crash detection with 911 dispatch, family location sharing, and SOS alerts so they can get help when they need it. Invest in your best investment with Greenlight.
Instacart shoppers know your order is more than just items. Fresh ingredients equals dinner time delights.
That's good.
Pesky replacements mean more playtime. Attention to detail leads to mealtime memories. Instacart shoppers make it happen so you get more time to savor life.
Follow the NLL on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube for all the best content all year long. Search at NLL Now. Our own Devin Caney on the floor, sideline reporter, does a phenomenal job on the social channels. Content coast to coast with Teddy Jenner, Patty Gregoire, and Devin. Maybe Mitch will make an appearance this year for some blazing takes. Are your takes still in development this part of the year? It's only week 3.
Yeah, you know what? I'm working on getting extra spicy this year.
Yeah, all right. Well, this game's been quite spicy, my friend. 4-3, Panther City. Low-scoring game, but the intensity's picked up. Tons of loose balls in this game, which folks at home not familiar. That proves hustle 50-50 plays. Devin, as the host of Coast to Coast, what do you need to hear from Mitch this season to get him back on the show?
You know, Brendan, I retired from giving any sort of, not even just burning but mildly spicy take. So I need Mitch to step it up to kind of make up for my lack of opinions on the show. I gave up on doing that. I got in trouble too many times, so I'm just neutral now. I'm Switzerland.
Your thoughts?
I think you're still digging out of the hole with Callum Crawford there, Devin.
I definitely am. I'm so sorry, Callum, if you're listening.
You know, I think the takes are great. Keeps everyone interested. Great for the sport. Look at this night. I have a take. This atmosphere is awesome. It could very well be up there with the top of the league. Even Buffalo, potentially. It could build towards that. 2,100 season ticket holders in the building. Bertrand on the swing. Shot denied. Vegas in the black uniforms and the white. No reset. Shot once more. It's Greer. Vegas down 1 to Panther City. Last week in Fort Worth, PCLC with the 13-11 win.
Another block shot by Panther City. I asked Connor Sellers today, I said, how'd that block shot feel at the end of the game? It didn't make a sound. And when it doesn't make a sound, you know it didn't hit much other than skin. He lifted up his shirt. His whole shoulder was yellow.
Jonathan Donville screens. Kells emerges. Donville leaps for it.
And that leap pays off as Donville goes.
Whoa! Donville goes down. Jackson Subak's like, get out of my way, kid.
Stay away from my goalie. Donville says, I'm just trying to get the ball, man. Leave me alone.
Like two kids in the sandbox fighting over the shovel. Possession stays with Panther City. Caputo, 19 in the white. Donville has not scored a goal tonight. Donville works in, shoots and scores right on cue. The rookie with his first career NLL goal, Jonathan Donville.
It's funny, you see Caputo going to get that ball. The ref says, what are you doing? He says, I'm getting the ball. It's his first goal. He's going to frame it, put it on the back of the Bird set.
He scored a ton of these, Mitch, at Cornell and Maryland.
Yeah, an excellent player. Coach Koluski talked about, felt like last week he was maybe pushing on a pull door. I thought that was great. He's working so hard but couldn't find the right flow. That time, he takes his time, a little face dodge, tucks it across his body and comes down and then scores short side on Kells. Just a beautiful play.
He's given you a lot of insight. You've had conversations with Jonathan, scored 31 goals in that grad year with Maryland. But what have you heard from him? And Panther City scores again. Now they have a 3-goal lead. Tony Malcolm, second of the night.
And that's an example. They just break the pressure of that press at the midline. They create havoc, and then Tony Malcolm goes to take that shot. It deflects off of a Vegas defender's hand, I believe, and deflects down. So Kells was ready to make the save. Let's look here, a little double there, swims through the double. They go for the triple team, and yeah, that just deflects off of a Vegas stick. Beautiful swim move there. As the pressure is just too much. When you break that double, that's when you can be dangerous in transition. Panther City does just that, and they're on a 2-goal run of their own.
Malcolm the goal, Burton the assist. Donville scored the goal prior. Will Malcolm with his 3rd assist of the night. He has 4 points.
Yeah, Tony Malcolm with the goal, his second of the night, like you said.
Well, just to kind of wrap on Jonathan, who's making his debut this year in the league. He was the #1 overall pick a year ago. Opted to play 1 more year of college. His shooting strategy, what did you hear from Jonathan, how he's making those decisions in box?
Yeah, he talks about just getting it out of his stick quickly. So he looks for a spot near side or far side, and he tries to put it there as quick as he can. You see that in that move he made to get down the middle. He waited Landon Kells out, picked a near side spot, and just put that right between the elbow and the knee pad. It's like a triangle right there off his hip. He's able to sneak that short side.
Panther City doubling Vegas, a 2-0 run after Vegas went on a 2-0 run of its own. It was 4-1 at recess. Shot, or pardon, a pass to Rouet over his head and a bit behind him. Tony Malcolm, races ahead for Panther City. Under 12 to play in regulation. Here's Donville. Nice pass. Kells slides and makes the save. Kells has kept him in the game. When you talk start to finish, those first 2 goals, first 4 minutes, threw him off guard. He's kept him in this one.
If you're a goalie and you give up 6 goals in this league, you got to feel pretty good about your effort. Offensively is where they've struggled tonight.
Bertrand has space. Damoud creeps out.
Big blocker save there.
Yeah. Well, and the way his defense plays in front of him, you can take risks like that. We talked about Damoud being reamed out by his head coach, Tracy Kelusky, at halftime last week. He's responded well. Another save. And Jack Hanna hasn't had it going. He had 2 last week.
Yeah, he had 2 last week, but he probably could have had 5 or 6. He had just like that wide open looks down the middle. It just takes time to learn how to score in this league. Being deceptive, using your shoulders and little head fakes to get goalies to move, and then picking your spots.
And Hanna's had to sacrifice a bit. He had 13 shots on goal last week. Kells, that one, look what I found, falls right in his lap. And tonight for Hanna, only 3 shots on goal. With the new additions back in the lineup due to injury last week, didn't play. Greer, King, and Bertrand sacrificing shot attempts. Here's Greer, one-on-one matchup. The pass shot, nothing there for Hellier. What do you make of Hellier's game tonight? I know he's been in the league a long time, more than a decade, but still trying to figure out where to be, right?
Yeah, and I think a big piece of it is the players with him on that right side is really getting comfortable with Rouet, getting comfortable with Hanna to give him that space to be the quick, shifty dodger that he's so good at becoming.
Caputo shoots over the top. They love that about his game. You get the feeling Panther City's a goal away from putting this thing away. Kells holding his own between the pipes. Timeout on the floor. Panther City leads 6-3, hoping to get to 2-0 this season.
We've got Donville down the gut. We've got Malcolm on the transition. We've got a 6-3 game. We'll be right back.
Sports fans are gearing up at NLLshop.com, the official online store of the National Lacrosse League, and the largest assortment of officially licensed NLL fan gear anywhere. With unique one-of-a-kind designs, team jerseys, and much more for every National Lacrosse League team. Don't wait. Shop now and get today's special offer. NLLshop.com, a Fanatics experience.
Grandma, how wide are 2 reindeer? 27, 28, 29.
Make this December one to remember. Together. Happy holidays from Lexus.
Always moving forward. Movado SE.
Make sure you get your seats to see your Panther City Lacrosse Club as they return home on February 11th at 7 p.m. to face off against the Vancouver Warriors. Tickets at panthercitylax.com. Panther City is home tomorrow, taking on Colorado. Joe Tsai, one of the co-owners of Panther City, also part of the San Diego Seals ownership, part owner of the Brooklyn Nets, the New York Liberty of the WNBA. Mitch, what Joe Tsai has done for this sport, he's empowered women in the WNBA. This is the home of the Vegas Aces and the Brooklyn Nets. They've clearly proven they will go out and spend and bring in superstars. Joe Tsai is great for sports.
Yeah, and despite helping Yale get even better at lacrosse, I love what he's done.
Of course, an Ivy League dig.
I've loved what he's done for the sport from every, like you said, from every level, right? All the way from the collegiate level, the PLL Outdoor League, his support of the NLL with 2 teams, San Diego Seals and here now in Las Vegas. Just such a great ambassador for the game.
And temper's starting to flare a bit on the Vegas side. Reinhold was pushing and shoving with a Panther City player. Dodds, we haven't called his name a lot, hits the post. Patrick Dodds tonight for Panther City. He has 2 assists, no goals. Was second in the league in rookie scoring last year, only behind that guy Teat in New York. He was pretty good, Patrick Dodds. He's a lot bigger this year, too. He had a goal and 4 assists last week. Milligan, the skip pass with 5 to shoot. Will Malcolm, Turner bullying him. Ball goes off the shoe of the official. 8:40 to play. Vegas needs goals, and soon.
Yeah, they're going to have to pick up their pace statistically to score enough to come back here. They've only scored 3 goals in 3.5 quarters of lacrosse.
Reed Reinhold, like Hellier, coming over from the Toronto Rock. Greer spins, gets free momentarily. Great check from behind by Panther City. That's heads up.
And I thought Greer had an earlier window to take that shot. He did a nice job of using that underneath toe drag, but just isn't quite able. But you're going to see this press here. Typically, Desert Dogs press in the first and the third quarter. They're going to have to go to a strong press right at the line here in the fourth quarter, even though they have that long change into their offensive, or sorry, into their defensive end.
Panther City was practicing their press break and shoot around this morning.
Landon Kell's great patience there, just waiting and waiting and waiting out the shooter there.
Under 8 to play in regulation. Panther City looks to spoil the Vegas home opener. Desert Dogs, the 15th and newest franchise in the NLL. Great to have you with us on a national stage, ESPN2. Rouet, he scored the first goal in the team's home history. Blazes one wide. Foley comes in to the offensive zone for Panther City.
And Damoud has gotten to the point, he's made enough of those saves where now Vegas is trying to pinpoint corners and they're just not able to hit them there.
Cam Milligan, the sweep to Malcolm, couldn't hit. The deflection in front of the goal. 3 bodies come in. Cornwall, Barclay, and Reinhold. Dodds getting harassed.
You talked about Dodds putting on some muscle, and you see it. He just took on 3 Desert Dogs. A pack of Desert Dogs attacked him, and he still made it through.
Dodds is now listed at 6'3", 212, and you can believe it when you walk by him. He's still only 21 years old. Panther City's excited about having him in their future plans. Bertrand to the middle of the floor.
Unlike last year, he'll be able to have a celebratory beer after the game this year.
That's what it's looking like right now here in Vegas. 6.5 left. Last week's game in Fort Worth, the final score was 13-11. Panther City the victory. The score was tied at 7 at halftime, and neither team has 7 goals. Caputo dishing. They work it inside, and nothing there for Wengreniuk, who is the rookie from Grand Canyon University.
2 Grand Canyon University graduates on that left side.
Ain't that something?
Dean Farrell, also an MCLA product.
Along the goal line, Rouet, the cutter. Ball soars just over his stick. Greer. Now Rouet, Greer stepping into one.
And the ball just cannot find its way to the space between the red posts, whether it's Panther City defenders taking pieces, whether it's shots wide. The jerseys in black just can't find shots on cage right now.
5.5 to go in regulation. Vegas has work to do, down 3. Charlie Bertrand emerged as a great box player in year 1 with Rochester. Tor Reinhold on the move, that's over and back, like they call in basketball the backcourt violation. There's Burton and Milligan.
And one thing we saw today in shoot around, Panther City worked on is coming hard off the bench to support that ball carrier as soon as they cross that midline, because they know the pressure that's going to be put on. This is where that's going to come into account, is in the late parts when it's kamikaze pressure coming towards you. Can you maintain it? Can you have the systems to support? And then can you move the ball quickly in that waterfall format that Coach Koleski talked about?
Huge emphasis in their walkthrough this morning, no question. Bertrand with freedom to shoot, missing wide.
Demood is in their heads.
He's an imposing figure, Nick Demood. He's in much better shape this year. He's got the goalie job by the horns. Work to do for Vegas, down 3.
Sports fans are gearing up at NLLshop.com, the official online store of the National Lacrosse League, and the largest assortment of officially licensed NLL fan gear anywhere. With unique one-of-a-kind designs, team jerseys, and much more for every National Lacrosse League team. Don't wait. Shop now and get today's special offer. NLLshop.com, a Fanatics experience.
What will you do? Will you make something better? Create something new? Our Dell Technologies advisors can provide you with the tools and expertise you need to bring out the innovator in you.
Bah, humbug! My signal is totally ghosting me.
You need a better network. 'Tis the season to switch to Verizon. They'll give you the new iPhone 14 Pro.
Amazing phone.
This holiday season, Verizon gives you the new iPhone 14 Pro, plus an Apple gift like Apple Watch SE, iPad, and Beats Fit Pro, all on us and in stock now. That's a value of up to $1,900.
Wow!
And there are unlimited plans for everyone, starting at just $35 a line. Act now. It's our best deal of the year, but it ends soon. Visit Verizon today.
If you already know that a blend of tender, marbled Wagyu beef makes the best burger, good for you. Arby's Wagyu Steakhouse Burger is back. You beef genius? Arby's, we have the meats.
And here is tonight's Fanatics turning point. How about this run? Donville gets his first career NLL goal, and then Burton finds Tony Malcolm his second of the night.
How about Burton there with the swim move? It draws the triple team, leaving Tony Malcolm with a wide open look. The Malcolm brothers, 3 of 6 goals tonight.
There's Will on the left, Jonathan Donville on the right. 4 and 3. The lead 3 for Panther City. Trying to close this out and go to 2-0. Folks, this team started 1-8 last year, but they stuck with it. They kept their hard hats on in Fort Worth and kept working. They won 5 in a row to eke into the playoff picture. Let's see if the Desert Dogs have one last run in them. Connor Kirst, the spin move. And there's a hit here by Vegas, potentially. It looks like, who's that down? And that's Will Malcolm.
And that was John Wagner playing the role of fullback, going full-on lead blocker there, throwing a little bit too high of a cross-check as he tries to create some space. And that hurts when you're trying to come back. Oh, and that's devastating as we get the call. That's a 5-minute high stick, so that's going to be the remainder of the game. They'll be down 2 men. Unless, of course, Panther City is able to score 2 goals, at which case a 5-minute penalty release is.
Right. Well, and look, this tends to happen to the team that's trailing by multiple goals in the fourth quarter. You're frustrated.
And that's a tough one, though. That's in your offensive end. He's trying to make space. And Patrick Dodge, with authority, blasts it off Kell's butt end and into the net. You could see the emotion as he gives a big fist pump. And we're getting out of lowest scoring game ever territory here as 10 goals are on the board.
They didn't waste any time, Mitch.
Look at that. Look at that. That had nothing but corner labeled on it. Kells gets a little bit of butt end on it, but just not strong enough as that rocket, all 212 pounds of that big boy, throws that ball in the net.
We talked to Tracy Koleski about the development of Dodds, who is right in front of his head coach. And Tracy was not shy to talk about him like he was a veteran, not like he was a kid, like a 21-year-old kid. He said he can't be content, has to take another step. He will be guarded even more tightly and more aggressively in this league. And he's hoping, and he clearly thinks, his youngster, who is second amongst all rookies in scoring, is up for the challenge.
Well, it's great to see that confidence there. They have a power play. First 10 seconds in, he just steps in, sees something he likes, and he rips it. So he has the confidence in himself, and he knows he has the confidence from the coaching staff to make those decisions in real time. And when you capitalize with goals like that, you're going to get that leash a little bit longer each time.
Dodd scored 7 on the power play last year, rings the pipe, nearly does it again. Still an extra man on the floor for Panther City. 3 minutes to go in the game. Up 7-3. And they score once more. This time it's the rookie Cam Wengreniuk, the Edmonton native. 2 games, 2 goals.
And this is a simple little play that they capitalized on last week, except it was Malcolm who's the recipient. You see just a nice slow fade into the middle, not a hard cut. Rowe is 6'10". He's got to use that wingspan. He's got to collapse down. It was the exact same situation last weekend, except with Will Malcolm. They got to protect the top of that box.
Look how dialed in TK is. He wants these guys to play the full 60 minutes.
So Wagner's going to remain in the box to serve that full 5 minutes, but we're playing 5-on-5 lacrosse. So the penalty is released, but he has to serve the full 5 because it was a high stick.
Good heads up, Mitch. Really fun night here in Vegas. Of course, it's not going the way Desert Dog fans would hope, new Vegas lacrosse fans, but just to take in this atmosphere is definitely a great experience. I mean, last year, I'll just give a quick example. Being in Albany last year, the Firewolves go to a lacrosse market in Albany with great success at their college program, the University at Albany. There was a goalie fight at the end. Everyone was bought into the action. Then you got guys like Lyle Thompson coming home. So fans are, and here we go. We might be headed in that direction in these final 2.5 minutes, because I think the Desert Dogs have just had quite enough of Panther City owning them on their home floor.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Tracy Kelusky puts out a lineup of some meaty boys on defense and says, hey, if they take any more liberties, do what you need to do.
8-3 the score. This was a 3-goal game at halftime. Panther City led 4-1, and they have shut out the Desert Dogs in the second half. Things are looking good for PCLC. It's amazing, though, Mitch, what 1 year can do, right? Like, when Philadelphia expanded and got back in the league, they had their struggles, their ups and downs, mostly downs, if we're being honest, in year 1. But then that year 2, you're like, wow, we're a contender. We can really be in this thing.
And then you look a little further down the road, and a team like the New York Riptide, who in year 3 last year were able to continue building. Doesn't hurt when you have the Rookie of the Year on your team, putting up 111 points. But ultimately, these front offices come up with great game plans, how to build over time, and it never is an instant success. Here in Vegas, they had a little bit of fool's gold with the Vegas Knights, right? They came out of the gates real hot in their first year, but for the most part, it takes time to build up what theoretically is, you know, a lot of B-plus players or players that others passed on. So you got to band those together and then work your way into these picking up stars, trading for stars. So it takes time.
And possibly left out the most obvious, San Diego. Juggernaut of an offense making splashes in free agency, but they've established a core through expansion. Bertrand missing. Bertrand does have one tonight on a 3rd opportunity. That was how Vegas got back in the game, evening the loose ball battle. Tony Malcolm goes down, hops back on his feet. 1:38 to play.
There's no goal in net here.
Tor Reinhold is in, and that won't matter. Farrell scores his 2nd tonight. He got the scoring started in this ball game. It's now 9-3 Panther City, and they're starting to really feel it now in Sin City.
And our fun stat of the day from our friends Graham Perro and Evan Schumanauer up in the booth next to us. The lowest scoring game in NL history at 11 goals. We have now surpassed that, so we're up into normal scoring territory, 12 combined goals. Reed Reinhold doing his best Landon Kells impression. Without the pads, don't take up quite as much net there.
That's a 5-0 scoring run for Panther City. 5 different goal scorers: Donville, Malcolm, Dodds, Wengreniuk, Farrell.
And it's all in the fourth quarter, Brendan. So they have been able to put it together in the back half of the game just like they did last week. That's where the experience is. And look at this. Subak is going after somebody.
Well, they want to be 12-round fighters, and folks in Vegas familiar with the fighting scene. This is a pig pile. Damoud's over there trying to help out his guy. Liam Burns down to the turf. The official hops on. Mark Ardonio, the crew chief, he has to break up this party.
And Hellier, here we go. Now we got 2 guys ready to square off. As Hellier,
the captain,
are going to meet and they're going to give the fans something to talk about here.
Burton 6'1", 220. Shot with the left. Hellier grabs him, then Burton falls on top.
They say, you know what? If we're not going to go home giving these Vegas fans a lot of goals, we're going to give them a lot of fun here. As Burton's night is going to end with a minute 23, he jogs to the locker room.
What's your record in fights? Well, what was your record? You don't play anymore.
You know, I was more of a lover, not a fighter, Brendan.
Well, I would agree. You're the same way in the broadcast booth.
I was, you know, part of a couple crazy evenings. Actually, the first night I met my in-laws was a bench clearing brawl at halftime. Me and Mark Steinhaus were rolling around on the floor. A lot of guys looking for their. Oh, look at that. There's one. Subak was looking for anybody here. You see Cummings sticking up for his teammate there, saying, you're not going to jump him. If you're going to fight somebody, come fight me. I'm 6'4", I'd like to take it. And then Hellier and Burton. Bit of a wrestling match there.
Well, Tracy Koluski says of Burton, he's lived his career cross-checking and asserting himself in the dirty areas. Burton, one of the new members of the team. Not many newcomers for Panther City. So now they got to get this sorted out. Take notes. Director of Lax Operations, Brian Lemon, in the house, so he'll be watching keenly. 1:23 left in regulation. Before we run out of time here on the broadcast tonight, and folks that are on the East Coast staying up late, we greatly appreciate it. You're getting a show that what it might look like when the score's lopsided. The other team gets hot and bothered. But what have you made of the atmosphere tonight? The debut of Lacrosse in Vegas.
Every fan is still standing at their seats right now. They want to see how this thing ends. They've been loving the up and down action. It was a low scoring affair, but there was a lot of great action. We had players flying through the doors. We had a fight. We had power play goals. No shorthanded goals tonight.
And the sin bin will be busy.
Sin City Sin Bin, patented, trademark it.
So they're trying to get all the penalty minutes sorted out here. Let me ask you this now. For Panther City, 2-0, 1-8 last year. They got to play Colorado, the reigning champs, tomorrow night in their building. Mammoth already in Texas.
That's 3 West games in a row, though. So that positions themselves. Let's listen in. So you could see him signaling 5-on-5. So whatever penalties they doled out, they're going to give the same to both teams. So we're going to end this game 5-on-5.
It's Wagner and Greer in the box.
I was going to say, there's no one in the box for Panther City, but I got to imagine, I saw Burton run off.
Right, Burton's gone, Hellier's gone.
I think they're looking for the ball, actually. They're saying, where's the ball? There it is, right where we left it.
So Panther City plays Colorado tomorrow. Then they go on a bye, a much-needed rest. What do you make of the blueprint? 2-0, much better than 1-8 last year.
Yeah, they're going to have to build off this fourth quarter, and I think defensively they got to feel great about what they just put together.
I would agree.
Can you maintain that level of toughness, physicality inside on a second night of a back-to-back? And then will their offense show up tomorrow night? It'll be interesting to see what they do with their lineup, as they had Grennan out, so I expect Grennan will be back in to give them some fresh legs on the offensive end. He brings a lot of passion and energy, so he might be that spark that gets him going. And then I expect Donville to continue building off of what he put together tonight, getting some confidence, and Dodd's finding a shot as well.
Colorado lost its first game. Mammoth 0-1. They lost to Sask 18-6 coming off a bye. So I'm sure the Mammoth will be plenty motivated even though they're away from home.
They're probably sitting in their hotel rooms in Fort Worth right now watching this game.
Donville scored his first career goal in the NLL earlier. He played over the summer in the PLL for the Cannons, played in 6 games, scored 8 goals on 18 shots on goal. Final minute of play.
So Desert Dogs are down a man. I was incorrect.
Reed Reinhold. Loose ball to Marshall King. Rouet, who scored the first goal in Desert Dogs home history. Reinhold exchanges a blow with Liam Burns. Burns was in that pile along the near corner earlier in the quarter.
Yeah, Reed Reinhold came flying in with a hard pick, and Burns just said, come on, man, I got to play tomorrow. Leave me alone.
Well, all joking aside, you make a great point. You've got to get out of here healthy if you're Panther City. There's TK, reigning Les Bartley NLL Coach of the Year. We've talked about their finish. Would you like to read an NLL fact that you just found out? Fine, I'll read it. From Graham Perro. Mitch Belisle never received a fighting major in his NLL career. Wow, you really are a lovable guy.
Not a fighter.
So what do? Just go and chit-chat with the guys? Hey, what are you doing after this?
One of the more memorable experiences, we played in Toronto when I was with the Boston Blazers. There was a huge fight. Everyone got kicked out. I played offense for the second half, scored 2 goals. It's probably the most goals I had in the stat sheet ever.
Shot clock turned off. Panther City can run out the clock. 1-8 start as the 14th franchise in the NLL a year ago. And Panther City Lacrosse Club is 2-0. Tracy Koluski high-fives his staff. Panther City spoils the first game in Vegas in NLL history. 9-3 your final. They dominated Mitch in the second half. If you look back at what happened last week, they outscored Vegas 8-4 in the second half. Tonight, 5-2.
Yeah, it was a story of 2 halves. The first half, they used their defense to stifle, keeping them to 1, keeping the Vegas Desert Dogs to 1 goal. Second half, they had an offensive explosion with 5 goals to close out the stanza. It wasn't all together at the same time, but it was enough at the right times to get the win.
Don't go anywhere. We will wrap things up here at Michelob Ultra Arena. We return. We'll hear from Jonathan Donville, the Panther City rookie.
This rental car is